Hello, everybody. I'm going to try to make this as quick as I can. The Lord wanted me to release the dreams that I had, the just testimony that I have of what has happened with all of this. So I'll just start off from the very beginning. So after I had saw on the news what had happened to Charlie, I was deeply devastated, and I really didn't know why. And it's because I didn't really know him. I had only seen maybe two parts of two debates that he did at a college campus. All I knew about him was that he was conservative and he debated college kids. And I've only watched like maybe two of his videos, and they weren't even the full video. So I'm like, why am I so devastated about a person I don't even know? Like, I don't know them personally, and I don't even really know them that much on YouTube, and I just didn't understand why I was just so devastated. I mean, what happened to him was devastating, don't get me wrong, but I mean, it usually hits harder when you know them, right? And I mean, I was so just devastated as if I knew him, and I didn't. And so as I'm praying about it for like 2 nights in a row, and I'm like weeping over it, and I'm just like, what is going on? Like, why am I so devastated about it? And then I go to work the next day, and this guy comes up to my register, and he's like, hey, I just wanted to let you know that, I see the pin on your shirt that says, how can I pray for you today? We're having a vigil for Charlie. You're welcome to come. I told him about, oh, that's amazing. I'm an evangelist, and I will use this opportunity to spread the gospel and to go to this vigil. And I went to the vigil, and I wrote down what I wanted to say, because I'm not a very good, like, on the set, like, type speaker, and I get stage fright really easily. And so, but I know God wanted me to use this opportunity to spread the gospel. I'm an evangelist. That's what I do. Now, if I'm like one-on-one with somebody, I have no problem. But when I'm on a stage, like, I get stage fright. So anyway, as I was writing my, what I wanted to say during this vigil, because I'm like, I have to have it written down because I get such stage fright and I will just forget everything I wanted to say. So as I was writing it, I wrote the name Charles Kirkland, and I'm writing it, and I get like a paragraph down, and I'm like, why did I just write Charles Kirkland? That doesn't make any sense. So I crumpled it up and I threw it away, and I'm like, writing rough drafts of what I want to say at this vigil. And I was like, why did I just write Charlie Kirkland? That doesn't make sense. So I crumpled it up, threw it away. The next one I wrote was what I wanted, what God wanted me to say. It's funny because what you want to say is not what God wants to say. And so I wrote everything that God wanted to say. I go to the vigil and everything, and it went well. And then I start seeing all this stuff coming out about Turning Point. And I start, because I'm like, there's something that's just not right. Why does everything feel so weird around this? Why am I feel just so devastated? So I start watching Candace Owens. I start watching Didi's got a podcast. I start watching Ian's channel, and I'm just like, there's something up with this. And as I'm watching Candace and more things come out, I'm like, go Candace, right? Like, that was one of her best friends. She needs to turn over every rock. And here's Erica not turning over every rock, and that was her husband. And so things are coming out, and I'm like, this is weird. This is weird. And I'm like, this is starting to make sense why I felt so devastated. Like, Candace said she had a dream about that Charlie came to her in a dream and said he was betrayed. And I believe that dream. I do. And here's why. Because after that vigil, after I'm watching these channels, because I'm like, there's just something not right about it, I wrote Charlie Kirkland on there. And then I think it was Didi's Got a Podcast went over the Snake Eyes movie, which, mind you, I had no idea about that movie, nothing about the plot or anything of that movie. And when he was talking about it, my jaw dropped, because I was like, that's what I wrote on the paper, and I had no idea at all whatsoever the movie. I just oops, I wrote Charlie Kirkland. I don't understand why I did that. I crumpled it up, threw it away, like, that was weird. Why did I write that? And then I see that and on Dee Dee's Got a Podcast. Then shortly after that, I have a dream about where I go into this house, and this guy with long blonde hair, which I believe was Brad Pitt, like back in the 90s when that movie was made, even though Brad Pitt was not in Snake Eyes. But the dream I had was Brad Pitt. He had long blonde hair, and he got in this bathtub that had little drops of blood in it. And if you know anything about Hollywood, they do the whole ritual with the bathtub and all that stuff in it, and they lay in it, right, for a ritual. Anyway, so then in the dream, it goes to where I'm at a hospital, and Nicolas Cage is sitting in the hospital like hallway, and I don't know if he's like waiting for a patient or what he's doing in the hospital, but he's sitting in a chair, and he has 4 huge Baphomet, like, satanic rings on his hand. And I believe I did a video about this, sharing the dream that I had, and I'll put a link in the description below of that dream. But they were like, and then I had that dream, and I'm all like, this is weird. And God doesn't ever show me coincidences with dreams, and I just happened to write Charlie Kirkland, and then I didn't know anything about the movie, and then all of a sudden this Dee Dee starts talking about this movie, and then I have this dream. And so the only reason I'm doing this video is because God said, I want you to release it. So I'm releasing my testimony of why I have been, most of my videos is just about Jesus. I don't want to release any dreams or anything like that, or any testimonials, unless the Lord specifically tells me to. This channel is about evangelizing. This channel is about testimonies of Jesus Christ, dreams, whatever, what have you. But God never, I only do it if God wants me to share it. So God wanted me to release it. Go, Candace. You turn over every rock that there is to be turned over. Nobody is above reproach either. Like, the only thing I had against Candace was one video. She was like, Shabbat Shalom, and she was like dancing and stuff. But, it could have just been a joke. I'm not trying to be too hard on her, maybe she's just trying to lighten the mood. But, it is what it is. That's the only thing that I've had that, and I don't necessarily agree with the Catholicism in her life, but I want her to ask questions. That's what Charlie would want, to ask questions. And nobody's above reproach, whether that be the military, whether that be Candace, whether that be Ian, whether that be Dee Dee's Got a Podcast. One thing I really liked about Dee Dee's Got a Podcast is he had an editor on there. And I like the information is just wild about this case. And the only reason why I've got into it is because of the dreams, and what I wrote down on that paper was just not a coincidence. And I really truly believe why it was so devastating in my heart, in my spirit, and in my soul is because I believe Candace's dream. He was betrayed. And I want Candace and everybody that's, Ian's got a really good database system that he's working on really hard. And I think, where it can look up people, what they said in videos and things, and it goes a lot more than that. And I'm like, go Ian, I want these things to be figured out, because our government is corrupt. Our government is not above reproach. Nobody on YouTube is above reproach, and the military is not above reproach. If there is something to be sniffed out, then it needs to be sniffed out. And if it's a dead end, then it's a dead end. So I think that everybody needs to just relax and just let investigating be what investigating does best. The true investigating, because the FBI is not above reproach, and neither is the CIA above reproach. So, I mean, I'm all for it, you know? Here you've got Candace, who's willing to ask questions and turn over every stone, but you got Erica over here that's not willing to. That's just not... I mean, it just seems like that, right? It just seems like that. And then you've got Turning Point's team acting weird. Is it a psyop? I don't know. I mean, we'll see. But investigate what needs to be investigated. So that's my testimony. And I'm going to put on the end of this the little paper that I wrote at the vigil, if you want to look at what it says, whatever. It's got trash stains on it because it was a rough draft. I threw it away. I didn't know why I put that name on there. God wanted me to release this, so I'm going to release it. And so take it as you will, but God wanted me to release it, so I'm going to release it. God bless you all. Take care. Just taking a quick video real quick. So I took the trash out, you see, and this was at the bottom of it. This is my speech, the first paper I did that for the Charlie Kirk vigil. I'm not even kidding you. The first time I wrote down Charlie Kirk's name on this vigil, I accidentally put in Charlie Kirkland. I didn't know anything about Snake Eyes or anything then. This was like a couple of days after he had died. And I accidentally put in Charlie Kirkland. And I found it at the bottom of my trash can like that. And I was like, oh my goodness. Because I threw it away because I didn't like that rough draft of the speech. And there it is. Believe me or not, I don't care. That's the truth.